Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome also if you are new. If you are new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you can catch other videos as I post them. And if you want to be notified, just hit the bell. So today we are going to work on this lovely red hair tutorial, and we're using Black Widows. So I have already done the light pink, or as I like to call it, cotton candy pink hair using Black Widows. Now that one was short in colors. This one is not. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors that we're gonna need for Black Widow, but you will notice they are all black barreled, which means they come from the original 3 sets of Black Widows. Unfortunately, yes, it does take all 3 of the original sets, but I mean, if you were trying to collect them or you have them already, you're good to go. I did try to make this with the 1 set, wasn't possible. 2 sets just wasn't possible. Unfortunately, well, with Black Widow and how they have rolled out their releases, you just can't. At least with this hair. I mean, you can pull off a red hair using 1 or 2 of their, batches. However, if you want a realistic hair with a lot of depth and dimension, in general, you need a lot of colors. Red hair is not an easy hair color to pull off simple. You can do it, but for me, I really want like the depth of the color. I want you to see shadows. I want you to see hints of brown. I want you to see that yellowish orange tinge it catches, when it gets the light. And then of course that fiery red that's still in there. And as you can see, like all the way down through her braid. And this did require the 7 colors I have picked. Can you omit one? Yes. So say you don't have one of those sets, or you're low on a pencil. In fact, I think only 2 are Cobra, 2 are Scorpion, the rest are regular Black Widows. Technically, one of the reds you could probably skip out on, but no matter what, the rest of these, I'll leave it to you. It will change the color slightly. There is a Prismacolor or Black Widow to Prismacolor conversion. Now, you can do that. I am going to make a video though, because I've had a lot of you ask to do these in Prismacolor. The technique for Black Widow or harder lead pencils like polychromos, luminance, is not the same as a Prismacolor or Arteza. Those are very soft, very smushy. They do blend out incredibly quick because they're so buttery. You cannot approach those the same as we do here. Not only would you be sharpening for days, but you won't get the same effect. It is actually easier or faster I should say, to do a whole head of hair with Prisma, and you can still make it realistic. I mean, look at Chris Chang and what she does with a Prismacolor. It's a totally different style. So keep that in mind. If you are converting this into a Prismacolor, you need to adjust your approach. If you do it exactly like me, you'll be sharpening a lot, and you still may not get that same effect because a Prisma is just not going to give you this layering. It's going to start smushing down, because that's what Prismas are known for, and in fact why I love them, but I don't love them for hair. Oh, I'm so sorry, Prisma. I have a whole thing of them behind me and they totally just heard that. I'm sure they feel so betrayed right now. Okay, so what colors do you need for this? I can't even hold them all in my hand. And these are skinny pencils. Imagine if this was Derwent. Oh my. Okay. So you are going to need Black Widow BW28, which is egg yolk. Then you're going to need Sunset from the Cobra set, CB44. Another Black Widow pencil, Pumpkin, BW14. Another Black Widow pencil, Ladybug, BW89. Scorpion pencil, Blood Red, SC33. Cobra pencil, Chestnut CB68, and from Scorpion, Brown Bug, which by the way is one of my favorite colors, SC15. Again, you can go ahead and swap these out, or ideally find just a hard lead pencil with a similar color. You need basically a goldenish yellow color, a pretty true orange color, almost like a vermilion color. You need a bright red, and then a deeper red, and then you need almost like a rust color, and then you need a brownish red color, because that's what Brown Bug is. So if you can just find something with a harder lead that'll hold its point in those colors, you should be pretty good. So yeah, there will be no color cards for this one. This is going to be one of the short tutorials. Initially, I was going to do the entire thing with you guys from here down, but that is still way into an hour, maybe 2. So instead, I'm going to kind of show you guys the gist of this combo and, you know, kind of let you take it where you want to take it. I'm trying to do a mix of the long and short tutorials simply because I can get out more with the short ones, but I do know that a lot of you prefer the longer ones, so I am including those. Those are sped up though, of course, with color cards. In fact, the last one was sped up ×3. It was 4.5 hours and I had to shrink it down, so that's why my hand is like in that one for pink hair. So yeah, I know you can slow those down to keep up with me, but I had done a poll a while ago and it was kind of a 50-50 mix. A lot of you didn't mind the shorter ones. A lot of you did want to still see longer ones. So I'm trying to accommodate that, but also, you know, just my schedule and sanity, because I want to get through the list. You guys have provided me with a monster list of hair, and I'm giddy and excited to do it. I just want to get through them for you guys. And if I do 4-hour tutorials, let me start zooming in here. If I do all 4-hour tutorials, that's where I kind of slow down on production of those. Even this month, because it was so busy, I only got, this is going to be the second one, and it won't even come out till August. I'm filming this on the last day of July. So yeah, that just FYI on that. 7 minutes in, let's start. Okay, so the first thing I want to teach you is the braids. Now, all of these braids down here are going to be exactly the same approach. So as with, I did another hair tutorial with braids, I think it was red, with polys. So you gotta remember, it's tucking in here, tucking in here, tucking in here, here, here. All those areas where the hair is tucking down in are going to be shaded more because the hair is going inward. Now, you're going to have some shadow as these pieces come out from under each braid, and the artist is kind enough to show us that. However, it will not be as dark. So you'll notice here where I see like tucking in, I have it darker, but see here, I still have some lightness to it because this is not tucking in. However, this one's tucking, this is tucking, this is tucking, this is tucking. I think you get the gist. And then obviously here is a highlight because the hair is actually curving in the braid. So keep that in mind. So let's do a couple of these little braids for you guys. We'll do these ones down here because they have more little shading. So we're starting with a base coat because the Black Widow does need something to grip on a smooth cardstock. If you're using Strathmore or a toothier cardstock, then you can swap if you want, but I still recommend doing the base coat myself, but that's just me. So start with your egg yolk, which is our yellow. Light pressure. If you have problems with that, hold it way back here. I have problems with that, hence anytime I'm doing light pressure, I'm always holding a pencil as far back as the eye can see. Alright, I'm doing a very light coat with light pressure, if that wasn't obvious. But it really shows up on this paper. Now, a white paper, you'll be like, is it there? Okay, now grab Sunset. So this is where we're going to start building our color. Actually, you know what? I lied. Start with Brown Bug. It's been a long day, guys. Second I put down to Sunset, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not building right there with that color. Okay, so see how this is a nice reddish brown? Same principle as with any hair I have taught you. Pick your point, flick out. Pick your point, flick out. Just flick, flick, flick. You'll start doing it in your sleep before you know it. I'm going to make it a little darker under this part here because that braid is kind of, you know, blocking it. But see, no pressure as I'm lifting upward. That is very crucial. Or just drop your pencils like I do because that makes it easier. Okay, now grab your Chestnut. Now with that, same thing. I'm starting in my darker areas, but I'm pulling it a tiny bit further than my darkest color. Not everywhere though. In some areas I'm just barely flicking above it, whereas in others I'm pulling out a little further. Okay. Now take your blood red. Remember, you can always go back and add, but there is nothing more devastating than having to erase your hair and start over. So less is more. You can always add more later. And yes, all of the colors will be in this braid. Red hair is a complex color. All right, Ladybug. Red hair, if you ever looked at someone with genuine red hair, like this fiery red, I mean, it is brown, it is blonde, it is all sorts of things. Yes, I made mine a little bit more yellowish, but I'm actually playing off of when you have a very bright red hair color, it will look like golden yellow and orangish in the light. So that was the aim for that. Okay, now grab your pumpkin. I'm still overlapping everything. Do not move back and forth. That will blend. You're still always flicking towards your highlight, using the same pressure, and you're just building layers on top of one another. Okay, now grab your Sunset. Now this one, you want to bring out further than anything else to kind of help close in some of the gaps towards that yellow, because we don't want that yellow to be a straight line across. No one's hair highlights with just a straight line. And if it does, well then, kudos. I'm wrong. Now grab your egg yolk again, and very lightly so that we don't blend anything out here. I'm just using this to redefine our yellow, and then I'm also kind of gently bringing it down into some of those grooves in between the colors. Okay. Now, we already have our yellow on this side of the braid. So we are going to take our brown bug and same thing. Hopefully you guys can see around my hand. I have to turn the page though. I mean, hair, when I'm doing it with myself, I'm not even thinking about it. I just move the page all over, but on camera I'm like, oh shoot. And usually the most comfortable angle is not the angle for the camera. Maybe I need to get like a second angle, something that just sits like right here. You can see from above, you can see from the side. Okay, now grab your Chestnut. So Chestnut is like a rusty brown, whereas Brown Bug is like a deeper red brown. And you'll notice I don't have a brown because we don't want that. I want all reddish browns. So again, pulling from the darkest shade and just slightly out. Okay, now grab your blood red. These names are so perfect for Halloween. Okay. Now grab your ladybug. Now while you are using the same colors, vary up how you use them. You don't want each piece of hair to look exactly the same, so try not to think about it as you're putting it down as much. Okay, grab pumpkin. And this one, we're going a little bit more over the tips towards the highlight, but not as close as we will be with the other orange, although this one I'm going to bring across. Okay, now grab your sunset. Now again, you're going from the base up, but this one we are definitely covering into the highlight. Now one thing I want to do real fast before I grab my yellow is grab my brown bug and add a little more depth because I don't feel it is dark enough. Same thing with this one over here. Hair is a finicky thing. It's never really done until the whole thing is done, and then you might even walk away and come back the next day and start adding more layers. So always keep that in mind. Like, we finished the video, I may come back later and be like, it needs more of this. Grab your chestnut. And you should do the same. I want you guys to take these combos and just the techniques, but use them on any hair piece you have. It doesn't have to be this picture from Mariola Budek. Go find a different picture with a girl with braids if you want to practice braids. My goal is to teach you the technique, and with each one you'll learn fundamentals. Grab your egg yolk. We're just adding our highlight. So yeah, each one you'll learn a color combo and you'll learn fundamentals. Like here I'm showing you, where the highlights are, where the shadows should go. I'm basically giving you the foundation so that you can take that color combo and apply it anywhere. Because it's really important that you learn to take what you've learned and, use it elsewhere. Because if you only use it on this page as a color along, you'll find yourself, kind of struggling to continue using it elsewhere, because you might like this red combo, but you need to go practice it on a different page and not just this one. So that's what my goal is with all of this. I want you guys to learn these combos so that you can take them and use them on any page. Okay, now we're back to egg yolk. I am going to do the section up here just so you get an idea of how to do the top of her head. So again, we're going to go in with a coat of egg yolk. Ugh, could you imagine coating your hair in actual egg yolk? Yeesh. So the rest of this page was actually done in polychromos, in case anyone will ask, because usually I get people asking, what color is that in Black Widow? Oh no, sorry, that's Polly's. So yeah, I did this all in polychromos, but I guess I was in a Black Widow mood for hair. I don't know. All right, brown bug. So I always have it a teensy bit darker right here coming off the root, but not as crazy as Mariola has it here. I will, however, see these areas where the flower petals are overlapping her hair. I will have shadow there because obviously this headpiece of hers is going to create a shadow or two. I mean, look at that thing. It's like a monster of flowers. If she didn't have a shadow, I'd be like, okay, they're glowing, I guess. But that's one thing of grayscale. You kind of have to decide, okay, is there really a light source here? Also, where is the hair curving and hitting the light? This huge flower right here is going to block, which is why probably Mariola has that shadow. Whereas here, the headpiece is curving around her head and turning, and the light is now hitting this corner, but also the hair is lifting up around her head. Down here, it should be darker because you're not going to have a ton of light hitting your hair right here. I mean, just, you know, go stand in the sun or go look at someone's hair in the sun if you don't want to stare at your own or you're trying to study it. Of course, be careful who you're sitting there staring at because they'll be like, can I help you? What are you doing? But just see how their hair curves and how the light bounces off of it. Like, that's honestly the biggest thing that helped me learn how to do hair. Okay, Chestnut. So because this one's a little lighter, I'm going to be a little more liberal down here with this one. I do need to color in her scalp. Her skin is actually not done all the way. It's mostly done, but I wait till the hair's done before I'm like, okay, call it good. So see, I'm adding this one here to represent the shadow cast by this flower. But you'll notice I didn't use my darkest color because I don't want that to be super dark. Okay, same thing. There's going to be a highlight here, but we're coming off. The hair is curving down her head. There should be no highlight here. I mean, not only is her hair curling down to the side of her head here, but then she's got this massive flower thing in the way. There's no light hitting that. That's why you'll notice over here, I don't have any crazy highlights. I do have some, but you won't see as much of the yellow shining through because this is not hitting a bunch of light down here. So our highlight will almost be more orange than anything else. Okay, so bring that in. And I do apologize. I know I had said I would do this entire thing on camera. This side of her head, but then I decided, you know, this may be better if I do a short one, and that way I can move on to the others in the list. Okay, grab your blood red. So I do apologize if anyone was planning on this being full. Okay, so I'm grabbing here. Now I am going to give her a teensy highlight, kind of like I did here, but not as dramatic as this one, because this one, this big flower is pointing this way, so it's going to create more of a shadow, whereas this is going to catch more light. So again, this will end up being more of an orangey shadow in here instead of the yellowish color. See, now I'm bringing it down here. Now I am trying to preserve some of the yellow here because that one I will have a little bit more yellow in it. And the same thing down here. I am flicking from the bottom, but pulling it out just a little bit more. Okay. Now grab your ladybug. Okay, so we're pulling more towards the center of that little highlight spot we have. Keep that moving. I'm going to pull this a little more too, because I don't want that to be super highlighted. And we may have to go back over it. Never know if it's not quite the color I want. Okay, again, I'm still overlapping everything, but I'm bringing it out further into my yellow. That's the key. As you go lighter and lighter, those colors kind of overlap and pop out so that we slowly build our layers. So grab pumpkin. Build our layers into the highlight. For me personally, I just feel it makes it look more natural. So on this one with the pumpkin, I'm actually crossing into that yellow. Not all the way, I'm not moving back and forth. I'm flicking in to the yellow a lot more than I did in the braided sections. Because again, I don't want this to be some dramatic highlight there. Okay, same thing down here. Okay, now grab your sunset, and this we are actually going to drag across that yellow there. So see, sunset has now become our official highlight color. That's kind of what I did over here. Okay, now right here, I am going to bring it across, but I'm going to leave a teensy bit of yellow because I am going to bring my yellow in there. Now here, I'm going to bring more of the sunset across. Okay. Now, grab your egg yolk, and I'm just very lightly putting that there. Very lightly adding that one in there. And very lightly, I'm just adding this here. Okay. And I always like to sit back and look at it for a second, which never translates well on camera, but I'm showing you my process. So, all right, yeah, so I like that. I do like that because I'm getting a teeny bit of shine here, but I'm allowing this huge flower from the headpiece to basically block, and then this curve of the hair, because this is all curling away, is hitting a highlight. And then this has just a little bit of light hitting it, but not a ton. In fact, I think I may want to add a teensy more red. Grab your blood red. This is why I say just sit back. You can always add a little more here and there. Never go crazy with a color though if you're adding it in just for an effect. Just add a couple pieces here and there and wait and see. Walk away, sit on it. Like I said, the most tragic thing you can do is go overboard right out the gate, and then you're like, oh no, I gotta erase it. And then you've lost, like, in some cases, an hour of your life from flicking. Okay, grab pumpkin real fast. I'm just kind of bringing that over some of the red. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think, let me zoom you guys back out so you can see the two pieces we've done. So yeah, it looks kind of funky right now with her random braid done right there. But of course, once it's all filled in, it will look a lot better. So just to recap, the colors you need are Cobra, CB68 Chestnut, Brown Bug SC15 Scorpion, Black Widow BW89 Ladybug, Blood Red from Scorpion SC33. Really hate how they changed up the order of how they label these. Black Widow BW14 Pumpkin, Cobra set CB44 Sunset, and Black Widow BW28 Egg Yolk. In fact, you know what? I'll leave those out so I can take a picture for you guys. But yeah, it's so funny how they did that. So on Black Widow, it starts with the series, number, color name. On Cobra, they have the series, number, color name. And then with Scorpion, they're like, no, let's totally screw everyone up. Color name, number, series. Why? Yes, Black Widow are coming out with more pencils. I do not know what they will be, but supposedly this fall, I think they were teasing. Your guess is as good as mine as to what those will be, but you know what? I, hint, Black Widow, would really love to see, after this set, everything combined into one so that, you know, for you guys, when I'm trying to make these tutorials, I'm not like, sorry guys, you have to buy all three of these. So, don't know about you, but I would really hope to see that happen one day. But thank you guys. I hope this was helpful. Please, as always, leave a comment below. I will answer any questions you have. You can also message me on Instagram. If you are one of my higher level members on my channel, I do offer one 30-minute coloring one-on-one session every month. So if you are struggling with hair, you can sign up for that, and then you'll get a 30-minute lesson every month with me on whatever. So say you want to color a certain hair and you want to sit there and do it side by side. We can actually do a Zoom meeting, or I have another program as well where you're sitting next to me coloring alongside me so I can help you and correct any things. So I do have that, but as always with my channel, there is no locked content. So those who are members of my channel, you are helping support me. I mean, you get really cute emojis, including a dancing colored pencil, which I keep using in comments because it's so freaking funny. And then, of course, you get shout outs at the end of my videos and live streams and whatnots. And yeah, just the higher level gets the private one-on-one lesson, but never will there be private videos, locked tutorials, nothing like that. It all just helps support my channel. And that is honestly so awesome of you guys. I have had a few of you sign up and I appreciate it. It is helping tremendously with me buying supplies and just helping my channel grow. So yes, let me know what you thought of this shorter tutorial, and I am doing my best to do a combo of short and long to, you know, appease everyone. It's just so hard to do them all, but I am trying to combine them as much as I can and do like a few of each type each month. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see some red hair on Instagram. If you use this combo, please tag me. I would love to see it in action. And then until next time, take care.